Hello, it's Darlene Childress. I am a life and parenting coach and the host of Become a Calm Mama podcast. And this little intro is an introduction to a re-release of Late Summer Pep Talk. Woo, mamas, we have been in it in the summer. Really a lot of weeks of carrying stuff to the pool, making a lot of snacks, a lot of boredom, a lot of sibling squabbles, a lot of burnout. And I just wanted to give you a little pep talk so that you can finish the summer strong. Now, some of you, maybe you're having a great summer, you're feeling really energized, you're encouraged, you're slurping it all up. This last little bit of milkshake of the summer is going great for you. Wonderful. I am delighted for you, honestly. But there's some of you out there that are struggling. You're feeling resentful. You're like thinking, I have planned all this stuff and my kids are total jerks about it all. You're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling just disappointed and you feel as if you didn't do enough, or you didn't go on a big trip like other people, or you weren't able to get it together to like go to the lake as much or go to the pool as often or the beach as much as you thought you would. Whatever has happened so far, I want you to know you've done enough. Like, your kids will remember this summer as being really fun because children love to not be in school. So you have done enough and you're wonderful. And I want you to just give yourself a huge pat on the back for showing up and working on becoming a calm mama and creating a fun summer for your kids. I know you've put effort into it, and I want to just recognize that and congratulate you. I also wanted to give you some strategies in this last couple of weeks of summer, how to reset, how to get yourself back online, how to kind of make the most of these last couple of weeks. And I give you an option about how to reset your mind, like a mindset reset, or maybe you need to get back onto limits and maybe start to create some rhythm and routines, kind of give you an option for that. Maybe you need to reset your body. Maybe you're really burned out physically and you need to take a Calm Mama break. I'm also going to remind you of how to do that. So this episode is a pep talk. It is meant to encourage you and to give you some tools so that you can finish the summer feeling like you put in your best effort. And if you don't want to do anything that I talk about in this episode, you still have done the best. Like, you're great. Don't compare yourself. Don't worry too much. You're good. Your kids are happy. It's all good. And if you want some tips, listen in to the Late Summer Pep Talk. Welcome back to Become a Calm Mama. I'm your host. I'm Darlene Childress. And on today's episode, I want to give you a little late summer pep talk because I know that the summer, we often start out feeling really encouraged and hopeful, and we have all these weeks ahead of us, and we're imagining, playtime at the pool and late nights having ice cream or s'mores and just really like fun memories and time to do projects around the house and play games and all of this stuff, right? And then we get to like week 6, week 7, and it starts to really weigh on us of just like, oh my God, these kids are so annoying. They keep fighting. They don't ever seem happy. Everything I plan, they're grumpy, and it just sucks. So I know that that's normal, and I want to normalize that for you if you are feeling that way. And I also want to give you some strategies of how to kind of get out of that late summer funk that is so easy to get into. Now, I was already thinking about doing this episode, and then I ran across this Instagram post from a woman who calls herself the Mama Attorney, and you can find her at Instagram. And she often writes about how there's a lot of inequity and family burdens in the legal system and, like without having paid family leave. And she compares our country to other countries and all of that. So I really like her site because she's forward thinking. But this one post that she posted made me laugh because it was essentially the messaging that moms and parents get in the summer. And it was a couple of different slides. So I'm going to read a couple of them to you because I think they're really interesting and funny. So the first slide says, Summer for Parents, Society. This is the message of society. It says, your children are always home and must have good memories of summer, and you only get 18 summers with them. And if you cannot provide good memories of watermelon and pool games and exotic places, then they will have sad memories, and that's all your fault. So that's the first message we get. Then we get a second message from capitalism, from our economic system, that says, we don't take a break here. You can't skip a beat or you will lose everything and get fired. And if you take paid time off, you may still be fired. But if you are on vacation, make sure to check email because no one else is taking time off. So if you can't keep up, it's all your fault and you will be fired. So on one hand, we get this message of like, you're supposed to be relaxed and enjoy your children and take them on trips. And then if you're working, you get this message of like, yeah, but not really, because you need to be present in your job. Then, of course, you have your children who are actual human beings that you're parenting in the summer. And the message from them says, kids, I'm hungry. I'm bored. What are we doing today? Can I have a snack? I can't swim, so you can hold me while I splash water in your eyes and kick your throat. I'm mad. I'm sad. Ice cream. I'm bored. I'm hungry. And it's all your fault. So here we are trying to make great memories while maybe working, while also giving our children all these wonderful memories. And our children are just relentlessly needing to be parented still and have all their big feelings. So you think, okay, I'll send them to summer camp. And then here's the message of summer camp. It's $3,000 a week, even though we only hire teenagers and we're only open 3 days a week for 2 hours per day and only 1 week per summer. So you'll need 8 different versions. And also, if you did not sign up by September of last year, you lost your spot and that's all your fault. So you can see the theme here, right? Then you have your body, your actual human body as a human, as a person, as a woman. And your body is saying, I'm exhausted and it's hot and I just want to lay down and relax. This pace is unsustainable and I need a break. Summer is supposed to be for rest and joy and beach reads and you're not doing any of that. So I'm going to start breaking down and it's all your fault. Yeah? So maybe you're feeling this way. I noticed this one commenter in the, on this Instagram thing. She says, summer is beyond stressful. Camps are so expensive. And then before and after care is another story because of course, summer camps can't start at normal times and end at normal times like school. And kids can't even go to the same camp. She says, the end of day exhaustion and chaos is all I get except for the precious weekends when we try to cram 5 days of work of cleaning, laundry, next week camp prep, grocery shopping, summer memories, all in the weekend. She said, I hate it so, so much. Then she says, and summers as a kid, were magical to me, and it's sad. So maybe you're feeling this right now. You're feeling like, man, I haven't done a good job this summer. I'm like totally not doing it right. Other moms seem to be happier. Other families have it easier. Other kids are enjoying themselves more. I just want to normalize. I mean, this post had hundreds of comments. You are not alone if you are finding the end of summer that it's not quite the end, right? Because we're not quite into back to school prep and all of that. It's just like these doldrums, this sort of late summer, yeah? So you're not the only one feeling that way. If you're having a great summer, I love that for you. Just stop listening to this episode. Save it for next year. You don't have to listen anymore. But if you're struggling, if you're burned out, if you're feeling like your kids are out of control, you're resentful, you're overwhelmed, then this is your episode. So the first part of this pep talk that I want to give to you is whatever you've done, it's enough. I really want you to think about that. That this woman who posted on the Instagram post, the commentator, she said, summers as a kid were magical to me. It's sad. So she has this thought that her kids are having a bad summer, that they're not having a magical summer because they go to camp and because the weekends are sort of busy with life. And that just is a misconception of how children experience things. Most kids are going to reflect back on their summer as being pretty great. And the reason is because it's not school. They like having a break from school. The even if they go to camp, it's totally different from school. There's no desks, right? If there's desks, it means there's artwork or there's something fun or they're learning something or they're sitting down and exploring like lizards or whatever. It's interesting. It's fun. There's late nights and there's ice cream and there's, maybe a little vacation here and there. Summer is magical for children. So whatever you've done or whatever you've planned, I want you just to sink into the fact that it's enough. Your kids are having a great summer because it's summer. That is enough. Are they fighting with their siblings? Yes. Are they hot? Yes. Are they bored? Yes. Are they asking for screen time relentlessly? Yes. Are they asking for sugar? Yes. Are they not going to bed? Yes. That's because the sun goes down so late, their biorhythm is off. So your kids look like maybe they're not having a great time, but they are, because it's just a different experience. And you put all the summers together and they reflect back on their childhood and they're like, that was fun. I had a fun childhood. So I want you to feel you can relax and not compare your summer to other people. I know I have spent time doing that. This summer, I've talked about how I had a foot surgery that was planned. I wanted to do it in the summer because I thought, oh, the kids are home, they'll help me. And what ended up happening is that I didn't really need that much help, that the recovery wasn't as difficult as I thought it was, but I hadn't planned really any vacations or anything because I was having this surgery. And I now sort of regret that. And I think, oh, have my kids had a good summer? And I can get into my own head about it. But when I stop and I look at my actual children and I look at their summer, I'm like, oh yeah, they're having a good time. They're with their friends. They've had some projects. They've taken some summer classes. They're in it. They're good. They've had a good summer. They don't need some unicorn magical experience that I provide in order to create a good feeling for them. That's not my job. My job is not to make my children's childhood magical. Okay? Nor is it yours. Now, I'm doing a little pep talk for myself because I have, I think, a month left with the boys home. And because, they're both in college, so they're leaving me. Or they're leaving their home. And they're going off into their big lives and their big college worlds. And so I'm looking at the next few weeks and I'm doing this reset myself. I'm doing this little pep talk for myself. And I'm starting to think about, is there's anything I need to reset? So I'm going to give you some strategies on how to reset. Now, the reset is really just for yourself. If you are feeling like your kids are out of bounds, they're super dysregulated, you have tons of summer squabbles, it just doesn't feel right to you, then you might want to do one of these resets that I'm going to offer to you. I'm going to offer to you 3 different strategies, 3 different resets, and give you some resources for each one. Now, for me, I am looking at the next couple of weeks and I want to do like a mindset reset. So that's option number 1. So I want to look at the next couple of weeks and I want to decide, how do I want to feel? How do I want to think? And based on those feelings and those thoughts, what actions do I want to take? So that is how I teach mindset. I talk about chasing feelings. And what I'm referring to here, I do teach it a few different times on the podcast, but this one about summer is in episode 19. So if you want to go back and listen to you do mindset, go back to episode 19. You can also get the summer toolkit, which is on my website, calmmamacoaching.com, where I teach you how to do a mindset shift. So I am been in a little bit of like a mindset shift of like, this summer was wasted. I didn't do it right. I didn't plan well. I'm feeling a little bit of disappointment. I'm feeling a little discouraged. I'm feeling a little sad. So I'm in this negative mindset right now. And I want to shift out of it. I want to shift into a more positive mindset. So how I do that is I decide, how do I want to feel? I pick a few feelings that I'm going to chase. So I've actually done this, right, for the summer, and I've decided that for the rest of the summer, I'm going to chase connection. I feel really close to my kids, but as a family, I don't feel like we've done too much connecting. And so, well, I don't even need to judge it. I just want more. I don't need to judge whether I've done enough or whatever. I just chasing it. I just want more of it. And I'm thinking about this one day a couple weeks ago when it was my husband's birthday, and we went out for dinner, the four of us, and that was really fun. We hadn't really done much together, the four of us. And then afterwards, we were all hanging out on our phones and everyone was just sitting around the living room. And I know that none of us really want to just be on our phones when we're together. And so I said, hey, do you guys want to play blackjack or cards or something? And then everyone said yes. And we sat around and we took turns being dealer and we played a couple rounds of blackjack. We even got the chips out and bet and stuff like that. And it was super fun, very connecting, very warm. And I was like, ooh, this is the thing. I want this. I want more of this. It felt so great. So I pick a feeling, connection, and then I get some thoughts that give me the ability to create more of that emotion. So some of my thoughts that I wrote down is I can make family time happen. Like, it's really easy for me to think that I can't. And I bring up a bunch of obstacles of why it won't work. The kids don't want to. I don't have time. My foot still hurts. We don't have money for that. Or, my husband's really busy or whatever it is. I'm really busy, whatever. And so I can kind of make obstacles up in my head. But instead, thought work requires that I go past those obstacles and I say, you know what? I can make this happen. Then I need to have some positive thoughts like my kids love their family. My kids love hanging out with us. My kids want to be part of a family. My kids miss being part of a family. If that's true or not true, it doesn't really matter. I know that deep down, we all crave connection. We all want to be close to our families. And so I'm just going to assume that they want it. They may not want it the way that I provide it, but I know that they do. So that's just a thought I'm choosing to think. I'm also choosing to think connection happens. Connection happens in simple ways. I don't have to make some beautiful big trip in order to for all of us to connect. I can find simple little moments of connection. I'm also going to remind myself time is not running out. I have plenty of time. 4 weeks is plenty of time. I want to really be able to get my head around not thinking that I am in scarcity. I don't want to be thinking I'm in scarcity of money, time, or energy. I want to be instead be thinking I have plenty. I have plenty of time. I have plenty of energy, and I have plenty of money, which of course I have plenty of money is true. I have plenty of money, and then I need to figure out what I can afford to do if I want to do something like we all go to do golf and stuff or whatever. Do I have money for that? I have to look and decide. And if I don't, then I can come up with a different way to get that to make that happen. We can just pretend to do golf and stuff at home or whatever it is. Okay. It's not too late. That's another thought I'm choosing to think. It's not too late. I have time. Now, from my connection and my thoughts, I'm going to create some actions. I'm going to decide what do I want to do. And then I'm going to ask my kids if they'd be willing to do these things and if they're interested. And if not, we'll brainstorm together. And I'm just going to stay committed to creating this. I also need to be open to the fact it might not happen all four of us. It could happen just me and the kids. It could happen individually. With me, with one kid, me with the other kid. It can look different. It doesn't have to be what I decide in my head, like, oh, we're all going to do a big beach day or something. Like, I don't need to be so specific. If that's an idea I have, I can pitch that. And I need to be open and just keep deciding. Connection can happen. Connection can happen. I can get what I want. So that's sort of how mindset works. And if you need to reset your mindset, you just pick a feeling. I often pick fun, which apparently some people challenge me that say it's not a feeling, but I don't know. I like thinking of it as one. I just chase it. I chase fun, and then I have thoughts that align with fun, and then I create actions that are fun. Peace, joy, calm, hope, connection, acceptance, kindness, generosity, openness, positivity. You pick a feeling. You come up with some thoughts that will help you feel that way. Those are like little mini mantras or like little perspectives, that you come up with. And then make a list of some actions that might help lend to getting you the thing you want for the rest of the summer. So that's summer mindset. Now, a couple other options that you can take when you are feeling burned out or feeling discouraged or feeling overwhelmed by the summer. Another option is a summer limit set reset. Okay. So a big thing that happens during the summer is that we go outside of our boundaries and we get loosey-goosey on bedtime, on sugar, on screens. We can kind of get out of bounds. And why we have, healthy diets and good bedtimes and limited screen time and things like that is because it helps our children's nervous system. It helps them stay regulated. It helps them manage themselves and be better so they behave better. It makes them feel good, right? So that's part of why we have all that structure. It's fun in the summer to let the structure go and feel a little bit more free. It's nice for you because maybe you don't need to be on top of everything. You're like, whatever, cereal's great, eat up, I love that. I want you to be able to be flexible. But if you feel like everything's really out of bounds, then you can, take a beat and reset back to your traditional, your typical, your personal family rhythms. So if you feel like you're out of balance, then, go back to a couple days a week where you go back to your old routine. They go to bed at this time. We eat dinner at this time. We only have an hour a day of screen time, or we don't have screen time Monday through Thursday. Whatever those kind of normal rules you have during the school year, go ahead and build that back in. Maybe just one day you do a little limit set reset, or maybe for a few days, or maybe you just decide, on a Wednesday, you're like, okay, tomorrow and Friday, we're not doing anything. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to get back to the routine. If something comes up, no problem. You just know, I always have that in my back pocket. I can always get back to our rhythms. I can always get back to our limits. If you want an episode to listen to on this topic of resetting your limits, like a summer reset for rhythm and routines, listen to episode 76. It's, I think, called Summer Reset. Now I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me. But it's episode 76, and it will help you kind of get your head on to like, how do I reset back to what is typical for us? So you can choose a day where you focus on your routine around meals or bedtime or whatever it is. You can also, part of this is having like a breathe in day. So a lot of the days of summer are like a lot of out and about. You're like, going to the pool, and then you're going to a play date, and then you're going to like meet up with these friends at the library. Like it can be kind of busy, or it's like you pick them up from camp and then you go over to so-and-so's house, and like it can be just a lot because you want to pack it all in, right? I get it. But if you have a lot going on for your kids, that's a lot of stimulation, and that is hard for their nervous systems. So you can do a breathe in day where you kind of like, sometimes I think of it like a rainy day. Like you just chill and recharge. You do quiet activities, like maybe you go to the library just as a family, or you do a movie night, or you do a stuffed animal party, or you just make some, something like cookies or lemonade, or, lemon fruit pops or something like that. And you just kind of settle everyone down. You stay home and you let everyone's rhythm and nervous system kind of get back to a baseline. So that's your other option, right? So you can either reset your mindset, you can reset your limits, or you can reset your body. So the third thing I want to offer to you is about managing your own burnout. If your body, like that one, Instagram lady, the Instagram post says, body, I'm exhausted, it's hot, I just want to lay down and relax. This pace is unsustainable. I need a break. If your body is crying out for a break, you need to take one. So that can be either, figuring out somebody that you take your kids to an overnight and you say, hey, can you take my kid overnight? I'll take yours. I really do. I'm burned out. I need a night, or I need an afternoon. something like that. If you're working, you take a Friday afternoon off if you can, or Wednesday or whatever, and you guys kind of get your kids somewhere where they're safe, or you take a day off while they're at camp. Don't use all of your, time off just to be with your kids. Take time off so that you can do what you need. Now, I know I've seen this with a lot of moms is that they will take a time off or take time out of their kids. And during that time, they will do stuff like organize the garage or do a big project with the linen closet or, do all their Amazon returns and go to Costco. Yes, those things are helpful in the short term of making you feel productive and better, but you're still using your body. And there is a true exhaustion that happens that we want to rest. So I want to let you have permission to take the break if your body is crying out for it. I'm sorry to talk about my foot so much. I don't mean to, but I'm recovering from this foot injury. Well, it's not injury, surgery. And I always if I'm up on my feet for too long, like maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, my foot starts talking to me. That's what I say. Or sometimes I'm like, it's barking at me. It gets swollen, it gets hot, it feels pressure, and I need to elevate it. I have spent so much time of this summer just laying down with my foot up. And it's annoying because I want to be doing other things, but I also need to respect what my body's calling for. And I know long term, if I take care of my body in the short term, in the long term, this surgery will be more effective. If you care about my surgery, I can tell you more about it. Just DM me. It's not that big of a deal. But I want my long-term health to pay off. So I need to do this short-term, inconvenience. I need to be laying down. So, I've watched a lot of shows. I've read a lot of books. I've just laid down. I haven't made dinner. We've ordered takeout. It's not been great in that way of fun, but it's been necessary. And so I want to let you know that that's a possibility for you, that you get to take breaks. Now, it's not, there's the chunk of time off, right? An overnight or, a couple of hours or whatever. And then there's this other concept that I like to talk about called mini breaks. And I think of mini breaks is where, and I do these all the time, where I intentionally take a break from my life. And that looks like pouring myself a cup of tea. In the summer, it might be iced tea. In the winter, it's hot tea. And I go sit in some place that I find beautiful, either a place in my home that I find comfortable and inviting and cozy, or a place in the yard. And I just sit and I observe and I just be, and I drink my tea. A 5-minute tea break, 10-minute tea break is so powerful. It really does reset me. I know you're all busy. You get your Starbucks, you get your iced coffee, you get your, whatever you do, and then you rush around with it. I know you're busy moms. I get it. And I'm inviting you to sit down and just take a beat to let your nervous system settle, to connect with your body, to breathe slowly, to let the racing mind settle down. If you can be present, looking at the trees, there's so many butterflies and hummingbirds in my yard that I've noticed more and more over the last couple of years because I've slowed down and paid attention. I'm sure they were always there, but it makes me so happy to find them. But I have to be present. I have to be paying attention. Now, you might be thinking, I can't do that. I've got 3 little kids. They always bother me. Sure. You can train your kids, or not train, but you can teach your kids, oh, mommy's doing her mini break. I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes. You're welcome to sit near me as long as you're quiet. You're welcome to go grab your own tea or your own drink. So you can teach them that you're doing this and inviting them into that practice with you. You can put on your headphones and listen to music or an audiobook or podcast while you're making dinner. You can just take one sensory input out, like the noise of the children, and put your headphones on, or just put your headphones on. Don't listen to anything. Just kind of create a little bit of silence. Other ways that I talk to the moms in my club and in my programs is to take a walk alone before dinner. If your partner comes home, if you have a partner and they come home, you say, you know what, I need a minute. I'll be back. I'm going to just go around the block. Do a morning yoga class on YouTube. Take a night off the bedtime routine so you can sit and read. If you have support from your partner, ask for help. You do not need to be super mom. It's not necessary, and it doesn't serve you or your kids. Now, I teach a lot about this particular topic on summer burnout in episode 21. So the episodes I referred to are episode 19 about mindset, episode 21 about summer burnout, and episode 76 on limits in the summer, a limit set reset. So again, I want you to feel as powerful. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel content. I want you to feel hopeful. I want you to look at the past 6 weeks of summer or however long it's been. I literally have not looked, but look back at it and think, good job. Good job, mama. We did it. We've been showing up. We've been planning the things. We've been creating as much love and joy as we can. And our kids are happy. Look at that. Good job. I would like you to put a little, pat yourself on the shoulder and tell yourself a positive story about the last few weeks. And then reset, looking forward and figuring out, what do you need? Do you need some more limits and rhythm? Do you need some more mindset and action plans? Or do you need a break? And then go get it for yourself. Go take care of yourself. I want to see you taking care of yourself. So please, if you do anything like a summer reset, you have planned something with your kids, or you do something fun for yourself, you take a little mama break, send me a picture, send me a photo on Instagram at Darlene Childress, or tag me or whatever. I want to know if you are enjoying your summer and if you're resetting yourself and if you're giving yourselves little pep talks, because that is the power of coaching, is that you get coached by me and then you start coaching yourself. Having a positive mindset is going to help you enjoy the rest of the summer. If you need help for your summer, I have, 3 spots, one-on-one spots open for a 6-week program. So you get to work with me one-on-one. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you right now, like here at the end of July, beginning of August, and kind of tweak the summer, get the most juice out of it, wring that towel out, get all of it out, that all the joy and peace and love and all the yumminess, and then help you reset for the school year. This is such a good time to get coaching. I know you feel busy and that's fine, but as the summer starts to wind down, we want to get our kids reset. We want to do any last minute summer bucket list stuff, get that done, and then look for the school year. So this is a great time to get coaching. If you're looking for support, now's a good time. And I have some spots. I have a Thursday morning spot. I have Thursday morning. I have some Monday afternoon spots. So reach out. I'd love to help you. And as far as the summer, mamas, I want you to lean in, enjoy as much as you can. Realize summer is super short. It's temporary. It won't always be this hard. All right. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.